Welcome to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. I'm your host and fellow traveler, Malsman. The sound you hear is a boat, a motorized boat, and it's going to ply a very interesting river of the world, one of the great rivers of the world, the Amazon. Right now we're in Iquitos, Peru. We had a tough time getting here. It was a long trip to begin with. I'm living in Altoona, of course, as you steady listeners know, Altoona, Pennsylvania. You can't get an airport very easily in Altoona, so you have to travel by train or bus or boat, or walk or hitchhike, or take your own car, which I chose not to do, for about 3 hours to get to Harrisburg. And then from Harrisburg we flew to Cleveland, a short trip for an hour and a half for Continental Express. Then we went on to Houston, about a 2.5-hour flight. Then in Houston we took Continental 705, I think it was, to Lima, Peru. We hung around the airport. Again, I'm going to give you some dates right now. Right now it's March 6, 1999. We hung around the airport. We got in last night, March 5th, at about 11:30. We sat in the airport until 6 o'clock this morning. Then took the plane here to Iquitos and got a ride from Iquitos to this spot right now. It's the Explorama Lodges, and we'll get a read on that from our first guest in just a little while. His name is Luis. He is our guide for this trip down the river, not up the river, but down the Amazon River. I don't think we're going to be seeing any crocodiles. He says the water level is kind of not conducive for crocodile watching, but we'll see what we can find. Well, anyway, with that said, let's cut tape. Again, you're listening to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. I'm your host and fellow traveler, Malsman. Again, we're in Iquitos, Peru. We're going to be heading down the Amazon River for about 3.5 hours to a very exciting few days here in Peru. So let's cut tape now, and as the boat is revving up and getting ready to go. We have some other folks here, by the way. This is a press group right now, and we may meet some of them as we go. Let's cut tape. Okay, we are moving right along now. When Luis said it would be 3.5 hours, I thought we were talking about a slow boat down the Amazon, but this is not a slow boat down the Amazon. We're moving along pretty good. I think you can hear the wind rustling through the boat right now. We'll get a description of the boat, but let's meet Luis first, who's known English, who's been speaking English for about a year. Hey, we're going to meet Luis now, and Luis has been my guide since I arrived here in Iquitos, and Luis says he's only been speaking English for about a year, so let's give him a hand there. And before we go on, by the way, Oscar, my Peruvian friend who I met on board the plane, we got a little slog with a couple of beers. Oscar, this program is dedicated to you, so if you're listening on the internet, there's your name, and I'll mention it from time to time. Oscar, a good buddy, he kind of got me guided along when we got up the plane to customs. Anyway, let's meet Luis. And Luis, a little bit of your background.
This is the mine channel over the Amazon. From here, this is up river. From that way is the down river. Okay, we are going down river to the lodge. Okay.
Now, and what lodge is it? Talk about the lodge for a second. What lodge is it? Explain the lodge.
The lodge. This is called Napocam. Yeah. We are going from here for 3 hours down river from the lodge. Now the water is very high. No, the Napo River is very shallow. The Napo River. The Amazon is now is 25 meters deep. And this month the rains every day. Sometimes all night they rain, no? In the day 2 or 3 hours rain. The Amazon is very strong. The water is very strong.
How long is the Amazon? What are the countries it goes through? What are the countries the Amazon goes through?
This is very large. No, I don't remember.
I know it goes through Brazil and Colombia.
Yeah. And this boat is 3 days to the Colombia, Brazil. No, 3 days. And big boats, this is 1 month or 3 weeks. No, down river.
Describe this boat. Describe the boat that we're in right now. What sort of a boat is this?
This is very fast.
Yeah. I know it's very fast, but describe it. It's got open windows, and it's kind of a square kind of looking boat. What kind of a boat is it? What's the speed and all that?
I don't know, no understand.
Explain the boat. You know, kind of paint a picture of what the boat looks like.
The picture?
Yeah, paint a picture. What does the boat look like?
Looks like, I don't know, I don't remember this.
It's not a square, I know that. It's sort of like a little ferry, but it's not. I mean, it's a single level, but it's not a boat as we know it. It's got a top on it, I guess, to keep us out of the sun. And it's sort of it looks like a mini bus on the water. It looks like a bus for the water. It's like a water bus.
And the water?
No, it's like a bus that you would ride on the water. It looks like a bus, but it's on the water. It doesn't look like a boat. It looks more like a bus.
Yeah, this is the very small bus. No?
It's like a little water bus, yeah. And so I guess that's it. What about you, Luis? Talk about yourself a little bit. Talk about you.
For example, for this small bus, no, in the Amazon, do you see the many logs now loaded? You see? This is very dangerous for motor. No, sometimes broke. No.
When we hit one of those logs, that's going to be the end of my machine. We'll wind up in the water if we hit a log.
And a lodge.
No, we hit a log, we'll wind up in the water. I mean, you said if we hit a log at this speed, the boat will turn over, right?
Yes, yes. I don't know.
Talk about yourself a little bit, your life here. You're Peruvian. You grow up here. You were born and raised in this area. Did you grow up here and you were born in this neighborhood? Where were you born? You. Where were you born?
Born?
Yeah, where were you born?
I was born in the jungle. No. The Colorado Lodge, another side, the Amazon. The name the river is Manatee River. Manatee. I am living here in Manatee River for 25 years. Now I am moving from.
You're living in town now.
Iquitos, for secondary school for my children.
Oh, good. Sure.
I now have secondary school in my village. Iquitos is very nice for students, no? It's very nice.
You said there were 500,000 people living in Iquitos?
500,000. Many people?
500,000 people?
Yes. 500,000 people living in Iquitos, yeah.
Is there money to be made in Iquitos? What kind of is it a poor town? Is it a town that you can make money in? You can work? Can you work in Iquitos and make money?
Yes. And the people working every day in Iquitos, no? In the markets, no? For example, my wife, no? Working in the market, yeah, for salad, bananas, or manioc, chicken, or sometimes pig, no?
Well, Louise, I thank you very much. You've been a great guide so far. I know we're going to be speaking again. Before I leave, you'll probably bring me back to the airport, I would imagine. And I'll be picking up some t-shirts from you later on. And all I can say is you sounded great. The English is, in another year, you'll be better than me.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're listening to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. We're looking on this is a wide river. I expected a narrow river, but it's not a narrow river. At this point, it's very wide. Some great green, very lush trees and foliage along there. I guess this is the rainforest area and all that. But this is it's a beautiful day. It's in the 80s right now, maybe upper 80s, upper 70s, lower 80s. We're having a gorgeous day over here. It's not raining yet, but Louis says it rains every day. Anyway, that's the story from. Does this boat have a name?
What?
Does this boat have a name?
My name?
No, the boat. Does it have a name?
The boat?
Yeah.
This is the river bus. River bus.
Oh, river bus. Okay, there you go. So I was right. The river bus. Okay, you're listening to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. I'm your host and fellow traveler, Herb Malsman. We are traveling down the Amazon River. We're about 20 minutes into a 3.5-hour trip down the. It sounds like the Gilligan's Island 3.5-hour tour down the river, and we're going to have a very exciting few days. Again, today is March 6th, 1999. We're not in Iquitos anymore, Dorothy. We're heading downriver into some less friendly environment occasionally. So let's see what awaits us down the river. Let's cut tape and we'll pick you up in a little while. Here we go. Cut tape. We're back on tape, obviously. Just to make a point as we're going along, I'm looking out. I don't see much happening on the right side. It's a wide expanse of the Amazon now. As I understand, we're going to be going into a small tributary, so it's going to get a little bit narrower. So when we look out on our right, and again, it's a beautiful day. We've got a great breeze here. As we look out on our right, I don't see a whole lot of development. I guess that's more wilderness on the right, but there's a lot of development on the left. And there are condominiums and marketplaces and little communities building up along the Amazon, and that I would assume is moving these animals out of the way. The animals are being scared off and disciplining the wildlife a little bit. So this is becoming sort of a, you know, you can put that into your book of the fantasies, you know, the Amazon. I expected a darker ride, you know, looking at crocs along the shore. It's not happening here so far, and there's a lot of development going on around here, and we're looking at another house. A lot of it is thatch roof, but a little community we saw back there was a building and a pool and so it's sort of like condominiums, and we're moving along some other houses over here, private homes, again with thatch roofs, you know, the A type of roof, the sloping roof, and that's what we're looking at. Very green. The green is very green. A lot of foliage, a lot of different. We're not close enough to tell what all the different foliage, but you have some great foliage here. Very lush, very strong. We see some canoeists coming across, you know, canoeing past us, and all the canoes I'm seeing are on the left. And apparently this is sort of like a highway. They're going left. You know, we're keeping our lane. We're on a highway right now, so everybody we see coming past us in the opposite direction, it's all moving to the left. So it's a highway, I guess. But the fact of the matter is, what I was saying is, I think more and more you'll see the animals kind of retreating and not wanting to be a part of the madness of humanity. So is that another sign of the end of some the glory days of some of the species, some of the more ferocious species? We don't know. Let's cut tape. Here we go. We have come into a very small, very narrow end. We're still in Napo River. On the Napo River, we're right near the we're right near the foliage over here, the trees and the tree line, and we're very close. We could reach out and touch it. I don't see any wildlife yet, but here's where you would find it. The water is very murky. It's very brown, very murky. You can't see. You just can't see into it at all. There's no clarity at all there, and you just can't see beneath the surface here. There's some wonderful trees, and it's very placid here, as you can hear, and still no signs of anything. You would think that you'd see something along here, but there isn't any. We're very close right now to the lodge, and that's about it. We're going to shed tape over here unless something happens here on the river. We'll get back to you. But you're listening to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. I'm your host and fellow crocodile watcher, or trying to be a crocodile watcher, Herb Malsman. Again, we're going to cut tape, and if I run into a croc or I see something, some wildlife I'd like to report back to you about, I'll get back to you. If not, then we'll see you on shore. Let's cut tape. Here we go. Back on, just to let you know, we have arrived at the lodge, and it's Well, we're going to give you a tour of it a little bit later on. It looks like there's a boat alongside. It looks sort of like a houseboat alongside. This is Explorama Lodge. I believe that's the name of it, Explorama Lodge. And we're coming in. And this is the dock right here. It says Media Arts. And I would say that this building right here, this is sort of a scientific center, a workplace for scientists studying the environment. Here's a little bit of a hint as to what we're going to be doing. This is going to be we're going to be doing some hiking up in the woods, the rainforest. We're going to be I took a yellow fever shot, and I'm taking malarium right now. If you're going to protect against malaria, Larium is how you do it, or mefloquine, but Larium is the brand name. And a yellow fever shot, which is good for 10 years. And it's a good thing to get a hepatitis A shot when you come to areas like this. Although in this case, we're not going to be eating off the floor of the forest here. Everything is going to be very well controlled. Everything is going to be cooked properly and boiled properly. So there's almost no chance that there's going to be a mishap hepatitis A wise. So it wasn't really a requirement. I mean, you know, the health force in Bon Secours in Altoona, Pennsylvania thought it would be a good idea, but they didn't worry too much about it. But yellow fever you need. You certainly do need a yellow fever to come to areas such as this. It is the Explornapo Lodge. Explore, E-X-P-L-O-R-N-A-P-O Lodge is the name of it. And that's where we are. We're pulling in. There are a couple of other boats there. And of course, this is the only way to get here, by boat. And we're chugging in. We'll let you listen to the landing. And we see a couple of people. There are a couple of people on the dock getting ready to bring us in. A couple of people coming down. There are students here, by the way. This is a learning experience, and we'll learn about it as we go. We see some young students up there. They look like probably high school, and they've all gathered here. The Jason 10 expedition, and we're going to meet the leader of this expedition. I'll keep you in the dark. Again, if you're listening on broadcast.com, you already know from the tease, or perhaps I won't put it in the tease, who the star of this performance will be. Perhaps I'll just kind of let you wait to hear about this later on, who the gentleman is that we're going to be spending some time with here. So perhaps it won't be in the tease, but broadcast.com, you'll see this beginning on April the 12th. If you're listening to the tape through the auspices of the Foreign Exchange Program for the Library of Congress, National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, hello. If you're listening to this on WLRN FM radio reading service in Miami, you're in for a couple of interesting weeks, or a few interesting weeks here. Youngstown Radio Reading Service, you are also into some interesting weeks coming up. Anyway, let's cut tape. Again, you're listening to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. I'm your host and fellow traveler, Herb Malsman. We're gonna make our way off the boat, this water bus, and pick up with you later on. Let's cut tape. We are back on tape, and folks, I knew that it would be primitive living. I said, well, we're going to be in the jungle, and it's going to be primitive living, but I'm looking at my bedroom right now. We're on a platform, open air. There's a thatch roof above us. There are no walls. There are 1, 2, 3 mattresses with mosquito netting over and around each one. I'm looking straight at mine right now. It's in the open air. This is where I'm going to be spending from now until Wednesday, March the 10th. This is going to be my living quarters. I'm going to take you on a little mini tour, and then we'll find a real tour later on. It's hot. I'm looking for my bag. It's hot. What's interesting about this space right now is that, and you're in the middle of, you're in the middle of the forest here. What's interesting about this place is you never know. I mean, I'm hearing sounds of rustling in the trees. It's not controlled. This is nature. This is nature in the way it was meant to be. You never know what's going to pop out of the corner and come around the bend at you. They have 2 pets here, and I don't know the name of the species, but one pet is called Charlie. And when Brad, a gentleman that works for Jacksonville channel ABC, channel 23, I think he said, he's a cameraman. He said, well, you know, be careful when you go to the bathroom, because you may get, you know, kick the stall a little bit. It's a box. It's, I guess, an outhouse. And you may wind up sharing the bathroom with Charlie. Charlie is from the family of the world's largest rodent. This guy is, I mean, it isn't the largest rodent I've seen, but it is from that family of the world. And again, I don't remember the species, the name of the species. Then they have a bird, and I have no idea what sort of bird this is. His name is Raoul, and he loves to be petted. You can actually feed this bird by hand. It's a wild bird. Now, this place, Explorama, Napo, has been around a long time. They have 3 or 4 of these on the Amazon, 3 or 4 lodges. Of course, now when you come to this lodge, you're not going to sleep in the outdoors. I mean, there are little bungalows here, little rooms. We happen to be sleeping in the outdoors. And this is what we're looking at right now. We're walking down. I came down these steps. They're all wooden steps. They're very, very rustic. And as we're moving along, there are oil lamps along the route, and everything is thatched. And we're coming over here and looking off to our left. It says, "Quiet, please." Here's another little tease for your live broadcast in progress. There are glasses here, about 30 of them, upturned on their upturned over upside down. And there's a supply of Gatorade here, orange Gatorade. So it's a little thirst quencher there along the way. There's a broadcast personnel daily schedule, crew to positions 9 a.m. each morning. Program 1, 9:50 a.m. to 11 a.m. Program 2, 11:20 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Lunch is 12:30 p.m. to 12:50 p.m. Program 3 is 12:50 p.m. to 2 p.m. Program 4 is 2:20 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Program 5 is 3:50 p.m. to 5 p.m. ESS, I don't know what that means, March 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 11th, and 12th, 2:05 p.m. to 2:20 p.m. Between shows 3 and 4. So that gives you, still, we're giving you some teasers what's going on over here. And we're looking along there are students here, and I guess there's the broadcast center over here. And then we're moving along here, and I was told by Brad, my bunkmate, I was told by Brad, my housemate at this point, that these boards, it's all wood. You know, as we're walking along, they get very slippery, Brad said. And great foliage along here, and people passing by, hello. And the point is that here we are in the jungle, basically, and everybody that you see here is of a like mind. They're all here to do one thing. It's a very special place. You know, you've got something in common with everybody you pass by. You have got something in common. It isn't like living in a small town or a big town where, you know, you see people on the street and you say hi, maybe. But here you feel like you want to know everybody because you're all in this together. And it's a wonderful thing. Now we're kind of moving along again, this wood. And these whatever these pots are, I guess they light them at night along the route, and they light you away as you go. We just made a little left just now, working along the boards again. Then we're going to make another little, just jog to the right, just a little, jog to the left a little bit. We're going to go down some stairs here, and jungle to the left of us, jungle to the right of us, and right behind us, a fast-moving colleague heading down the steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 steps to the first landing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to the second landing. Then along a thatched covered bridge here, a canopy bridge. The water is very murky down below, and it's not any more than, we're not any more than 7 feet, probably 6 feet off the water right now, looking straight into it. And here comes some more fellow campers. Oh, okay. Hello. Hi.
But in 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to do an orientation at the...
Okay, very good. You'll get to meet her later on. She's a good friend. She's become a really good friend, and we'll meet her later on. Okay. And then moving along. Okay. All right. That was Maria Gallagher, by the way. Maria Gallagher. About a year and a half ago, when I wanted to join this gentleman on one of these expeditions, Jason 9, I was in San Francisco. El Nino was happening pretty strong last March of 1998. Decided not to make it, and Maria says, well, try Peru. in '99. So here we are in Peru, and loving every minute of it. And people are working. By the way, I'm looking for my bag as we go, and don't see it, but I'm sure I'll find it. And I'm moving along, and going up a slight rise right here. Well, a little bit more slight. Wood. Past all the group. Hello, hello, hello. Coming through. Campus to the left of me, campus to the right of me, and we're just moving.
I need you to just kind of hang. Maria's going to give you a little orientation.
Got it. Okay, Scott, right? Right. Okay, I just got the orientation. I just ran it to Maria. Okay, so we're moving along, and I guess the campers are back. The kids are back, and there's going to be an orientation. And here's Raul the bird. I don't know what kind of a bird it is, but it loves to be petted. There's Raul. It's a black. Oh, just took a little bit of a dump. Black bird with white frosted wings and craning neck, and moving along this wooden walkway again, and coming about. I may have missed the. I think I missed something. Yes, I did. I missed the area where the orientation is going to be. Okay, we're going to cut tape, and then we'll tape the orientation, and we'll be back with you then. You're listening to Visions, a series of visits to almost everywhere. I'm your host and fellow traveler, Herb Malsman. We're on the Amazon, not actually on the Amazon, but on the Napo River, which is off the Amazon River. We're about 3.5 hours out of Iquitos, Peru, and about an hour and a half out of Lima, Peru, as the Aero Peru jet flies. And here's where we are. Let's cut tape. Here we go. Take A. Okay, I'm back on tape. Just to let you know, we have clarified the two species. The gray-winged trumpeter is the bird Raul, and we'll get to meet Raul later. And Charlie is the capybara. It is the world's largest rodent. Now, this one's a baby. Charlie's a baby. How old is he about?
Probably about 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months old. So he's a big son of a gun now, but he's going to get a lot bigger. I've seen these things in zoos, and they're pretty. That's interesting.
He was taken away from his mother too early. That's the reason why he sucks your finger. When he sucks the finger, you'll notice he has a bony ridge in the middle of the roof of his mouth, which feels like teeth in the middle of the roof of the mouth. You just let him suck your finger. He'll love to do that because, as I say, his mother was killed for food when he was very young. He was taken away from her too early, and this is the reason that he still wants to suck fingers.
You get to the office?
Introduce yourself.
My name's Peter. I help run Explorama.
Peter
Jensen.
Oh, you're the Peter Jensen. Yeah, that's right. I was introduced to you, but I didn't connect to Jensen. You're the main guy, I guess.
Well, we started the company 35 years ago in June. Next June.
All right. And how long's Charlie? Well, Charlie hasn't been with you more than a few months.
No.
And he decided, gravitated. The food was here, and he hung out, and that was it.
No, they killed his mother for food.
I mean, he comes here. He
lives here free. Yes, he can go wherever he wants to, but he likes to be around people. If he were out in the woods, he'd want to be around other capybaras.
Right.
But he adopts us rather than be alone.
Yeah. When people come to this lodge, as customers, guests, they're not sleeping in the great outdoors. They have the cabins and the bungalows and all that.
They have rooms that you saw in the long house that's there, yes.
Right.
We have too many people right now, which is the reason we're using quarters that a zoologist uses to study the monkeys in this area from the Detroit Zoo. And with Jason here, she decided to leave, took off, and that's the reason we have her 3 houses for the news crews that are coming here.
Right. He's got a great voice, doesn't he? I mean, this man's a radio guy right here. Have you done radio?
No, I've just worked on Bozo the Clown Show. When I was in college, I worked in the Science Museum in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I was Scientific Pete from the Science Museum.
And with Bozo, with Bozo?
Every Saturday morning with Bozo for about 10 minutes every Saturday morning, yes.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, we're talking about 40-some years ago.
There are some people out there that may remember you.
I doubt that very much.
So did you get dressed up? You must have got dressed up.
No. I was Scientific Pete. Bozo was regular. That's an affiliated. That's franchised, so that it was a local person on WCCO TV.
Right.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Folks, this is the first person we've spoken to today, and you can see he's a pretty interesting guy. So, and this week is only going to get better. And I'm kind of holding up, telling everybody who our main guy is going to be, the man who brought all this together. And if you know anything about Jason and the Argonauts, and then Jason, which was I'm going to give it away now, a submarine, an unmanned submarine. You may hook up to who the gentleman is who started the Jason project. And your name again is Peter Joseph.
Jensen. Norwegian. Jenson.
Peter Jensen. Well, I was close. I had the J.
Very good.
Peter, thank you very much. You're great. Well, I see. Well, I've got your first name here anyway. So it's a capybara and a gray-winged trumpeter. Does it trumpet?
You're hearing him trumpeting at night.
Right.
He sits up on top of the roof, flies up on the roof, and at night he will call out.
You know what's great about this place? First of all, everybody I see walking along here, we all are of one mind. We're not here, we're not thrown together, and not like in a little city. So everybody that passes you by, hey, how you doing? Hey, you're here for the same purpose. And there's a great camaraderie here. Right away, you see it happening immediately. So this is an interesting place. So, not a question, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Okay, very good.
Give a phone number for here. People want to. Let's do a commercial right off the bat.
Okay, they can either go to the internet, we're www.explorama.com, or there's an 800 number near Boston, Nahant, Massachusetts, 1-800-707-5275.
Okay, and we'll get those now. Give them one more time now.
www.explorama.com.
And the number?
1-800-707-5275.
I hear a little Scandinavian in there.
Right, from Minnesota.
Yeah, I can hear a little bit. Hey, the Prince's hometown?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay, there you go. And another thing about this place, when you walk corners, you never know what you're going to run into here.
No, you don't.
You don't know what's going to be happening here.
But we have 100,000 hectares, which is over 250,000 acres, where we know that there is nothing except primary, which means virgin, rainforest.
Right.
That is in all of this direction to the east of us.
Right. Well, this is going to be fun. And as we go into it, we're going to hear the orientation then, now and then. And as we get into it, we'll move along. But this is going to be great. Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then we have a little wildlife update. Thank you.